This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. Episode number 253, baby. Oh yeah. In today's episode, don't worry, it's not just me talking to myself like last week. I speak to Clarification Charlie, and we have a slightly different type of podcast because, as you know, we usually pick a topic and talk about that topic. Well, kind of. Anyway, we often talk about other shit, basically. But today, we have a bit of a chit chat, okay? And this is exactly what the Rock and Roll English family podcasts are, the chit chats. So I thought I would show you what it's like today as we talk about stuff that's just going on in our lives. More personal stuff, but I must admit this is a bit of a watered down version of a chit chat. So when I say watered down version, I mean a softer version, let's say, less strong. Because in the family podcasts, the premium podcasts, let's call them, there is lots of stuff that I would not say in public, as I would risk getting arrested. And many people I know that often I sometimes talk about in the chit chats would probably want to kill me. So they are not for the public. But remember, membership to the Rock and Roll English family is open for 2 more days. And in the Rock and Roll English family, among lots of other things, you get 700 extra episodes of Rock and Roll English. But anyway, here is the conversation with Clarification Charlie. As usual, the first podcast of the year, it starts a bit slow, but this conversation has one of my all-time Rock and Roll English moments in it. My all-time favourite, that is. See if you realise what moment it is, okay? We will talk about it at the end, but it is one of those spontaneous moments that I spoke about last week, the type of thing that happens in non-scripted conversations. So here is the episode. I will talk to you all again at the end. Happy listening. Clarification Charlie, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, Martin. How are you?
Always fantastic, always fantastic. Even more fantastic now I know you are definitely recording the audio. Okay, for the listeners that obviously didn't see or hear this, we have just done a 10-minute tutorial of me telling Clarification Charlie, share your screen, press this. Can you see in the bottom left it says this, click that. Oh, what fun that was, hey?
Yeah, it was bloody hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, really funny. It's like you just wait. I did it once, okay? One time out of however many times we've recorded together. And will you let me forget it?
So obviously Clarification Charlie is referring to the time she forgot to press record. And I will never let you forget that because the listeners had to listen to a conversation that involved me speaking to myself and laughing at my own jokes. We missed this laugh. It was just me making jokes and laughing at my own jokes. That's the thing I really noticed about that episode. What was terrible. So no, I will never let you forget that. But yes, so we've started off on a very positive foot this time, okay, which is
absolutely
great. So how do we usually start the show?
With a review.
Do you think we have a review?
Yes.
Unfortunately, no. And this is the first kind of official podcast of the year. So obviously starting on a high with no review. I also did a kind of emotional podcast last week. It was about the 5-year anniversary, told everyone how much I appreciated them. I thought I'm going to be inundated with reviews after this and got none. So nice word there, inundated. Like I'll have so many, I don't know what to do with them, but unfortunately not. Although literally today I got a notification on Facebook and it said like Maria someone has tagged Rock and Roll English in a post, and I thought, oh, here we go, review. And then it was just, you know, when people like tag you in those porn things and it says like click here to have sex with me kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think she was. I don't think that was a review for the show. I was tempted to read that, but thought probably best not to.
Yeah, perhaps not. Definitely not while Lara's around. That's for sure.
Yeah. So that's baby R&R.
Oh, sorry. Definitely not while baby R&R's around. That's for sure.
Yeah, revealing the name there. Clarification, Charlie. Oh wow, that's big.
Sorry.
That's big. Don't worry. I think I can keep her identity confidential still. Don't worry. Okay. No other names were mentioned. So on to today's show. So I'm not going to ask you what we're talking about because I told you about 5 minutes ago. It's just going to be a bit of a catch up, okay? A chit chat, which we normally do in the family episodes, okay? This is what family episodes are, but I thought, give everyone a chance to have a listen to this chit chat, okay? So we'll just talk about what we've been up to since basically the last time we spoke, the end of last year and stuff like that, okay?
Okay, let's go for it.
So just before I moved to England, obviously from Sicily, which we'll get to that, the whole big move and stuff like that. I went to a wedding in Sicily, okay? And
love a wedding. Love it.
Oh yeah. There are also lots of episodes in the Rock and Roll English family about my experience at weddings in Sicily, because I do find them a bit strange being an Englishman. But one thing that really sort of struck me this time was when you go to a wedding with a child, it's a whole different ball game, isn't it? It's like a whole new experience.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. And often for us as well, the day after the wedding is also a whole new experience. So yeah, although haven't you said that in Sicily it's slightly different? The take on alcohol consumption is slightly different, isn't it, in Sicily than in England?
Yeah, it's not the same as in England. Of the idea is to get as drunk as possible and like nearly die. Luckily it's not that. So that wasn't so bad. The strange thing for me, we were in the church, and you don't want to be the person that's got the child that's shouting. And so I was in church and I was holding a pink rabbit, wearing a rucksack, and just asking myself, is this what Jesus wanted? I don't know. You just feel so ridiculous. You think people are looking at me and I'm holding this rucksack with this pink rabbit. And then obviously she started to get, she wanted to like walk around and stuff. So I had to take her for a walk. And there was this big statue of Jesus, right? And that had like the lights there. And then she was pulling at the wires to unplug Jesus. And I was like, look, don't unplug Jesus. If there's one thing that you shouldn't do in church, it's unplug Jesus. Okay. I thought if that had happened, everyone would have looked, oh God, you can't rest for a minute, can you?
No, absolutely not. So we actually went to a church around Christmas time. So mini clarification, Charlie. Mm-hmm. She was an angel in a nativity play.
Right. I thought you were just telling me like she was an angel, because we say that of like a child that was very well behaved.
No, God no.
Right. Okay.
No, she was an angel in it's actually called a Christingle. It's like a little service that they hold. And they did that.
Christingle.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I like that name.
Christingle. It's like something to do with the church. I should probably know a bit more.
Is it? I actually combined kind of Christmas and jingle bells together in a word, and I thought that's where the word came from. But who knows? Yeah.
It's like you get given these oranges, and there's like sticks of sweets in there and stuff. It's
Sounds
all
good.
Representative of
church.
Yeah,
the oranges. Yeah, really, Jesus. Yeah,
you can tell we go often, can't you? Anyway, so she was an angel, and we also had baby clarification Charlie with us as well, and he was not enjoying quiet time in the church at all.
Yeah, they don't like it, do they?
No, like he was screaming. Anyway, so Mr. Clarification Charlie was like, right, you stay with Minnie. I'll go take baby outside. And as he went, there was like an older man at the door there going, oh, don't leave. It's a family service.
The fun's just starting.
It's like, we just need to get fuck out of here. Anyway, and Mr. Clarification Charlie was like, okay. And he went, oh, we'll take you to the creche, the baby, like the creche room. And he was like, what? I mean, this is an old church, right? It wasn't a creche. Okay, it was just the room out the back where the bell ringers stand, but because it was like completely like soundproof, and then he had to stand with like these bells. And bearing in mind, baby Clarification Charlie is trying to like pull on the ropes to like sound the bells,
ring the bells of the church,
to ring the bells of the bloody church. And it's just like, this is not an appropriate creche, as they were calling it. This has just got disaster written over it.
Oh, absolutely. So creche obviously being like a baby play area.
Yeah.
I mean, playing with church bells. I mean, that does sound like a good place. I mean, the babies would be having a lot of fun there.
Oh, it will give the wrong message as well. People will start coming from all over thinking, what's going on? You know?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if it was anything like the church bells next to my house in Sicily, Jesus, I think there was a child pulling at them all night, every night at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was an absolute nightmare. So that was in Sicily, and then I came to England. Obviously all COVID stuff, nightmare. I quite enjoyed the current as well political situation. I suppose listeners aren't so aware of this, that Boris Johnson, the leader, the Prime Minister of like the United Kingdom, actually, during lockdown, you know, everyone was locked at home, and he basically had a party. Okay, like I said, I don't think this would have probably made worldwide news. I thought it's probably good that we inform everyone about this. And his excuse basically was, I didn't realise it was a party. Okay, so just so people know, it was at his house in his garden, and he said he got there in his garden and he thought everyone was working and didn't realise it was a party. I mean,
honestly, and everyone's drinking wine. It was like bring your own booze. So there's like wine everywhere, right? And there's like photos of all these people like swanning about drinking wine. But what's really frustrating, okay, is the fact that at that point, like that was the strictest lockdown we had. I know it never went quite as severe as what you guys experienced in Sicily, but it was pretty, like, people couldn't go anywhere, people couldn't see anyone. I was pregnant. Will wasn't allowed to come to any of my appointments at all in any of the hospital, and they're having a bloody party.
But he didn't realise it was a party, though.
It was a party.
He thought everyone was working, sending emails. Can you imagine that in your own garden?
Honestly.
Oh, what's going on here?
How is this man still here? Honestly, like, it's just a bloody miracle. Yeah.
Oh God! I mean, as well, if you've done something wrong, you know, just say like, you know, I made a big mistake. I'm an idiot. But when you come out with an excuse, like, so I came home in my garden. There were lots of people drinking wine. I thought they were just working, sending emails, but I think they might have been having a party, but I wasn't aware of a party.
Honestly, yeah, there was the whole, like, all the headlines today are like, sorry, not sorry, because like he said sorry, but then he kind of went on to defend himself. So it was like, I'll say sorry because I have to, but I'm not really sorry.
Yeah, well, it was a difficult situation. I feel sorry for him, of people just obviously inviting themselves around to his house and having a party in his garden as well. So yeah, that must have been difficult. But so for me personally, settling back into life in the UK, I'll tell you, it's just been a weird thing. I'll tell you what's the weirdest, being normal, because in Italy I was always the English guy. Everyone knew me as like, he's the English guy. You know, I was someone. There was something about me. I felt I had a superpower. Yeah, I felt I had a superpower the only time in my life, and my superpower was I speak English, and that was it. What a superpower! Yeah, sure. But now I've lost that. Now I'm just a normal idiot. It's terrible.
Back to being an Essex boy, aren't you? That's what it is.
That's it. It's a strange thing, just being an ordinary idiot. It's just taking some time to adjust. Also, the no bidets. So I've gone back to having a dirty arse. For many years in Italy, you could have eaten breakfast from my arse.
Did you honestly used to use The bidets. Did you used to use them? The bidets.
Are you pronouncing this like a French person?
I don't know. I thought it was like a bidet. I thought that's what you called them.
It might be. I mean, I'm not actually so sure myself.
I feel like you've said this before, actually, on a previous pod, haven't you? That you've taken to them.
Oh, a lovely term there. Or taken to them, like you like started using them. Why would you not? Who doesn't want a clean arse? Like, you disgusting British person with a dirty arse. Like, why would you not want a nice smelling arse?
Very true.
Like but here they just don't have those. Like, all of you disgusting English people with your dirty arses. And just like in our place in Sicily, we had like our places for everything, and in Italy as well, they're quite specific. You have like specific like soap for the bidet. Even you have like the men's one and the woman's one, okay? And now it's just in the bathroom. Before that was always by the bidet. And the other day I had a shower, couldn't find the shampoo because, again, we don't know where that is. We're staying at my mum's at the moment. Washed my hair, and then Mrs. R&R said, "Did you use that bottle?" Like, pointed at a specific bottle, and I said yes. And she said, "Oh, that's the stuff I use to clean my private parts," basically. So my hair was basically smelling like a vagina. I mean, admittedly, a nice smelling vagina, but
still, there we go.
Still, it was a strange experience. But that's life without a bidet. That's what we have to get used to.
What a tough few weeks it's been for you, eh?
Exactly. And then during that time as well, I got sick as well. And obviously, if you get sick now, everyone just thinks you've got COVID. People have forgotten about the standard illnesses, the standard British cold. People have forgotten about that. And
COVID's ruined the common cough.
Oh,
it's so annoying. Like, you cough now and everyone looks at you and it's like, it's just a cough.
Yeah, I mean, all the other illnesses must be really pissed off by COVID. Taking the limelight, so like taking all of the praise, let's say, or all of the attention. And there was a problem with the internet at my mum's the other day, and I had to phone up, and they sent out a technician. And then they ask you all these questions. They said, has anyone got COVID? No. Is anyone sick? And I was like, no. They said, is anyone coughing? So like, and I said no. And then baby R&R right next to me starts coughing, and I was like, look, just shut up.
Yeah.
Don't cough now. This is the worst time to cough. Oh, absolute nightmare. You like, if you've got a cough, you're screwed.
Oh, you really are. You really are. Honestly, it's just a nightmare.
What can you do? I feel sorry for the cough. And so as well, I've joined a gym as well. In fact, this is quite strange. I've actually joined 2 gyms. I joined one, and the first one was, I thought it was a brilliant name, just called The Gym. And I thought, whoever came up with that name, you're like, we need a name for a gym. What can we call it? How about
The Gym?
The Gym. Oh, that's a. How did you think of that? That's such an intelligent name. And then I changed from The Gym to Pure Gym.
Pure Gym.
Pure Gym.
They're 2 classics.
Just 100% gym. I just want
Pure Gym.
Yeah. And the reason I did this was because I signed up for one gym, and then I found out, obviously, my good friend Corporal Coma signed up for. So I signed up for The Gym, and he signed up for Pure Gym. And then I was like, okay, well, let's go together. So I signed up for Pure Gym as well. And we've been hitting the gym at like 7 a.m. in the mornings. And I tell you, we look like a right pair of idiots going to the gym together, especially in the changing rooms, because obviously, well, between Corporal Coma and me, we don't have a muscle between us. And
I don't know why. I thought Corporal Coma was quite a kind of beefy guy.
Absolutely not. So beefy means like muscly, basically.
Yeah.
He is the complete polar opposite of that. Yeah. He's like as skinny as me. If anything, I'm more muscly than him.
No.
Look, don't sound so surprised. Jesus Christ. Like, it was so shocking that another man exists that has less muscles than me. Just her face. No, impossible.
Sorry. I didn't mean it to sound like that. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it to sound like that.
It's okay. I mean, it's fine. It's true. I'm shocked as well.
Only because many a time when we've been on holidays and travelling together, you went through a phase of only buying women's T-shirts. So that's, my lasting memory. I just can't imagine Corporal Comer doing the same.
Oh, he definitely did the same when women's T-shirts were in fashion for men, like tight fit kind of thing.
He had bought one with like a cat on, I remember. That was my personal favourite of yours. That was a beauty. Yeah.
That was a real beauty. I don't know what happened to that, but that was a real beauty. And yeah, honestly, when we go to this gym together, we're in the change rooms kind of laughing and joking together. And even when we went downstairs, I was hoping he would know what to do and say, like, let's do these exercises. And I think he was hoping I would know what to do. And we kind of got downstairs and we looked at each other like, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? And at one point we started just jumping up and down. So there was like these real men like lifting like 500 kilos. And then there's me and Corporal Comer just jumping up and down jumping on the spot. Yeah, it was.
It's like, honestly, it's like a pair of teenagers. Honestly,
just it
like
was.
The lost boys, just there, not knowing what to do.
It was exactly that.
Oh, you're like nearly 40.
Oh, don't remind me. Yeah. Okay, so this chit chat is going to carry on in the Rock and Roll English family because we then say a few things which are not safe for public knowledge. But remember, if you want to join the Rock and Roll English family and have 700 extra episodes, then you can do that for 2 more days. Because after this, the next time membership opens, officially, because this is kind of unofficial, let's say, the price will increase because there is lots more being added to the family. In fact, now, because I live in England, the price will move to £20, 20 British pounds a month. At the moment, it is €20. But if you sign up now, you will pay the lower price of €20 forever, because €20 is less than £20. And remember, for that, you will get the 700 extra episodes, weekly online lessons, video lessons about vocabulary and grammar, flashcards, an individual session with me, and lots of other rock and roll stuff, such as being part of the best learning English community in the world. In fact, fuck learning English, just the best community in the world, which is the Rock and Roll English family group on Facebook. Basically, in a few words, if you like rock and roll English, you will love it because everything is in a rock and roll English style. Anyway, going back to the episode, let's have a look at the vocab and my favourite moment from the episode, and one of my favourite moments of all time. Did you notice it? It was this moment. As skinny as me. If anything, I'm more muscly than him.
No.
Look, don't sound so surprised. Jesus Christ. As I mentioned last week, that is the beauty of Rock and Roll English. It is not a scripted podcast, and people laugh and have fun instead of boring conversations about politics. Although we did talk about politics today, didn't we? But anyway, let's have a look at the Rock and Roll English vocabulary from today. At the beginning, I said this is a watered down version of a chit chat because, as I said, in the chit chats we have in the family, there is a lot of material which is not safe for public knowledge. So we had a watered down version, a softer version. I then said I thought I would be inundated with reviews after last week's episode, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So when you are inundated with something, you have so much of it you don't know what to do. But as I said, that did not happen. But if you want to leave me a review, please feel free to do so. And some other things I forgot to point out was when I mentioned about the review, actually, I had the person tagging me in a post about porn, and I thought it was best not to use that as a review. Notice that. It's best not to. It would be better to not do that. It's best not to. I spoke about a wedding with a child is a whole different ball game. It's totally different. Clarification, Charlie also said the take on alcohol consumption in Italy is different. Notice that, the take, the idea, let's say, what people think about it. She also mentioned about Boris Johnson and his party, that there are pictures of people just swanning about. A lovely term there. When you swan about, you just, go around in a carefree way, not caring that the rest of the country is in lockdown whilst you're just enjoying a glass of Prosecco at a party. That is swanning about. I then mentioned that when you come out with an excuse like that, so this is a little bit different to come up with an excuse, because when you come out with it, it's almost like you can't believe someone said that. I can't believe he came out with that. Clarification, Charlie also said that I had mentioned in previous podcasts that I had taken to bidets. So when you take to something, you develop a liking for it, let's say. Some other points just to quickly highlight, which is vocabulary I have highlighted before. We spoke about COVID taking the limelight, so taking the attention. We said if you've got a cough, you're screwed. So basically, you're fucked. And notice how I said I signed up for the gym. You sign up for gyms. And I then said we've been hitting the gym at 7. A lovely term there to say we've been going to the gym, but a term you can specifically use for the gym. I've been hitting the gym every day. And clarification, Charlie said she thought Corporal Coma was a beefy guy. So a beefy person is someone that's muscly, basically, and Corporal Coma is definitely not. Not that I am, obviously, but I just wanted to highlight also Corporal Coma is not. I don't think I actually know anyone that is beefy. I think beefy people and skinny people, especially skinny, hairy people like me, just do not get along. In fact, I mentioned how Corporal Coma is the polar opposite of beefy. So a way to emphasize is the complete opposite. Remember, all of this vocabulary is on the website rockandrollenglish.com/episode 253. I will see you all very soon, people. Remember, 2 more days of the Rock and Roll English membership. If you have any questions, just send me a message. But I will see you all next week for another podcast with another YouTuber or podcaster, and then in 2 weeks for another rock and roll conversation. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.